I've always said it that it's not the job of government to provide jobs, but to create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive, and businesses will create the job. And I think creating an enabling environment, providing security on the road, is a way to create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive.
In recent times, insecurity has been a major challenge faced by farmers in Nigeria. Conflicts between herdsmen and farm owners, the activities of bandits and kidnappers have left several farmers dead and many injured, with the surviving ones too afraid to go back to their farmlands. From north to south, east to west, these enemies of the state continue to attack citizens despite the efforts of security agencies to bring an end to the conflict. But as the activities of Boko Haram insurgents, bandits, kidnappers, and Fulani herdsmen go unchecked, the future of agriculture in Nigeria gets bleaker with each passing day. In July 2020, Modupe Oyetoso, an entrepreneur and an ambitious farmer who started farming about 5 years ago, was kidnapped and a fiance shot dead in Lanlate town in Oyo State on their way back from their farm heading to Ibadan. Oyetoso and Fiance, a young graduate and master's degree holder, had one day hoped that their agricultural endeavor would be part of the alternatives to food importation in the country. Modupe in an interview revealed that she spent several days with the kidnappers in the bush, tied, blindfolded, without food or water, while being moved from one location to the other in the thick forest.
So when it was 6 o'clock, they asked me to call my parents and tell them that they were demanding for 50 million naira for me to be released. So I called my dad, and he also was begging them 50 million. How? He was trying to plead with them, and they just told him if he wanted to see me alive, he had better find it.
Oyetoso further revealed that while conversing with the kidnappers, they told her they were not herdsmen, but rather career kidnappers, and as such, it was just business for them.
That was when they were telling me that they don't have cattle. They don't have cattle. The only thing they do is to kidnap for money. All they want was money. That was when they were telling me that next time when you see robbers, you stop. Don't run. That what they want is just money. I should just have stopped. And even one of them was even telling me later that he said it in Yoruba that like you just have to take fate as it comes. And now I think about it, probably they were thinking about my fiance, because they were telling me that I should just take it that is how sometimes life happens, like that.
So at this time they had human face.
Yes. Not all of them. So it was one of them that was telling me that I should just take life as it came, that they also are just trying to make a living because Nigeria is difficult. So I've seen what the God could do. So I was really, really scared at that time. I was begging my dad that, what, anybody I was almost like telling him that even if you can go enter the road, I'd just be asking anybody for cash. Just try and waste this guy's money, because they were desperate to live at that time. And they were also telling me then that if they don't bring it, they can equally kill me and get buyers for the body.
Buyers for the body.
That was what they said. That there are people who buy the head, body parts.
So they sell body parts.
I mean, I don't know why they would say that, but that was what they said, that if he doesn't do that they have nothing to lose, that they will still make their money.
In her narration, she explained how the kidnappers released her to her father alive after they collected the ransom.
So it was a long distance from where they collected the money, because it took me around 15 minutes to get to where my dad was. So he walked me down. So they told him to put on his headlight. So when we got to a point where I could see it, he asked me to go on.
Despite it all, Modupe was back on a farm a week after her release. She explained that the 1,000-acre farm wasn't as scary as the road leading to it. She pleaded with the Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, to create an enabling environment for businesses in the state, as several farmers have had to also abandon their farms owing to the growing insecurity in the state. According to her, 2 other farmers were also kidnapped 2 days after her abduction on the same road, and there hasn't been any news of them since. Reacting to the incident, Governor Seyi Makinde sympathized with her and reassured residents of the state that his administration would work on improving the security and intelligence architecture of the state, while promising to reach out to her personally. The movement of herdsmen and subsequent clashes with farmers in communities in recent times has heightened insecurity in Nigeria, especially in northern states and by extension in other parts of the country. Climate change, which has made herdsmen to migrate south in search of grazing land and pastures, has always pitched them against farmers and host communities whose farmlands are usually invaded and destroyed by their cattle. This has resulted in an increase in conflict, death, displacement, property damage, and has threatened food security in the country, with recent statistics showing a sharp increase in food price inflation. As clearly evidenced in recent security reports, Modupe's case is not an isolated incident. In a related incident in Ibusa, Oshimili local government area of Delta State in May 2020, 100 farmers fled as Fulani herdsmen invaded and attacked them on their farmlands. The farmers reportedly claimed the herdsmen had released their cows to roam freely on their farmlands, thereby damaging their crops. Subsequently, the herdsmen also pounced on them, forcing them to run for their lives. Also, in February 2020, in a community in Anambra State, a herder who invaded a yam farm with his cattle fought back and threatened to kill the farm owner when he questioned him about trespassing and destroying his farm produce. Despite the government's claim of being on top of the security situation in the country, these killings never seem to stop. While acknowledging the gallant efforts of the troops on the front line of this war, it seems more needs to be done to bring these killings to a complete stop. If the insecurity situation continues, experts have warned of impending food shortage in the country, as most farmers have abandoned their farmlands.